A new franchise is in Death Battle, so this is get us talking about a certain subject we've been dancing around for a while. So, people, this season of Death Battle has brought in some new franchises, the same with last season. However, us lads here feel like there are some franchises that deserve more love and more episodes, not just in DBX. Like, some of these franchises we're really surprised haven't even gotten a second episode.
Yeah.
Oh, when it comes to Death Battle episodes, there's one franchise I'm really surprised for the 10 years of Death Battle haven't even gotten a second episode. And that is Halo. One of the biggest influences on first-person shooters and the Xbox.
Yeah, like literally Aloy as well. I showed it as
one of the inspirations for Death Battle.
Yeah, and yet Master Chief has only had one episode, which is against a character which I don't think he'll beat in this day and age.
Well, I think there's sort of like a lot of people want that done as like a rematch.
Yeah.
Hold up real quick.
And I could see that happening one day.
Before people say anything, no, the characters in Red vs. Blue don't count towards Halo, obviously.
Oh, yeah, no, those are Red vs. Blue episodes.
Yeah, and here's the thing, I know people like to joke about saying, oh, but Red vs. Blue is canon to Halo. It's like, not really. The simulation of Spartans fighting each other is, but the actual characters themselves, no. Griff and Caboose don't exist in the world of Halo. Despite that, we want.
Could you imagine if they showed up in the campaign?
That would be hilarious. In fact, I don't even think they're referenced in Halo Infinite. Not as far as I've seen.
I think we can agree though that if Halo does get a second episode, we all know what characters should be representing Halo, right?
Arbiter.
Okay. I actually have two episodes I want to see. Now we've actually talked about in the past about season 1 characters getting another shot because. Let's be real here, either their analysis wasn't good or the episode that they did might have been outdated to an extent. One of them being like Vegeta, and he got an episode that was really good.
Yeah.
So Master Chief, I feel like given everything that happened in Halo now, I feel like Master Chief definitely deserves like a rework, because after his episode there's been comic books, there's been movies, there's been a TV show, but we don't like to talk about that show because... Yeah, we just don't like to talk about that show. It's shit. But, and Halo's making somewhat of a comeback with Halo Infinite. Yeah, there's been some issues with the multiplayer, but honestly, it was a solid game.
It's fun.
Yeah, and we've kind of needed it after that Halo 5 thing, which, thank goodness they didn't continue that story. There was no salvaging that.
So I think what you're trying to say is that you want Master Chief to come back?
Yes, and obviously there's that Doom Guy rematch, which... Honestly, Doom Guy I can also see returning because, let's be real, he's also his analysis might need an update, given the fact he can literally destroy the embodiment of sin. But for me, Master Chief, I would actually like to see him fight Samus. Yes, okay, I am aware that he doesn't win that fight, especially if you count the manga Samus, but that is one of the... Oh, yeah.
Can I just laugh at how, for some reason, that didn't come to my mind, and I thought you were going to say Commander Shepard.
To be fair, I was about to bring this up. Brandon has actually...
I don't know why.
Brandon has actually said that he would like to see Chief versus Shepard.
I do not like Commander Shepard versus Master Chief, because one, Commander Shepard doesn't really have the feats that Chief... I mean, neither does Chief and Doom Guy now, if you really talk about it. But...
By the way, the reason I'm laughing at me not thinking of it is because, well, Chiefy Samus is like the obvious one.
Yeah, well, I know it may sound like the obvious one, but one, that was the biggest influence for Death Battle, and not only that, I feel like since you brought up Shepard, I don't really see Shepard as an iconic character like Samus or Master Chief.
Oh yeah, like I would say Samus is definitely more iconic than Shepard, but like,
yeah,
I think the idea was that it would just be cool to see like some of the abilities clash.
Yeah, I suppose, and I know there's that debate like, oh, what weapon do you give Master Chief? Because technically. Oh, pardon me. Sorry, that's from my drink. Master Chief can only hold 2 weapons. And it's like, yeah, but I feel like you can toy around. Like, I don't know, maybe he has weapons deployed on the battlefield. And plus, okay, here's the thing that I've kind of always had issue with certain versus shows where they limit a character only to then give them a better weapon in another episode. I just feel like, just give Master Chief everything. Give Samus everything. So, we can actually see...
No, that's absolutely what they're going to do. And to show them off, well, the gun or upgrade is just going to be lying around.
Yeah, and one thing I would love to see in the fight is like Master Chief with the freaking gravity hammer, and let's say Samus is just recovering, and she just catches a glimpse of the gravity hammer, and she's just like, "What the fuck?" and just gets smacked away.
Dude, no, better idea. Samus is involved for him, and Chief hits her with the gravity hammer.
Nice. And also, that's another thing as well.
How does this sound? How does this sound for the kill? We go the Zero laser from Smash.
Oh yeah, that has to be the depths. That's an iconic shot.
And let's say we have like a fake out where Chief picks up the Spartan laser, blasts Samus with it, and her armor's like sparking. You like there's smoke everywhere. You think, oh my god, is she dead? And then no, she still fires a Zero laser, and in Brawl fashion, falls off. Zero suit.
Yeah.
I was actually thinking of another fake out where it looks like Chief got hit by the laser, but he activated armor lock just before that, so then it's just between Chief and Zero Suit Samus. I mean, I feel like even Zero Suit Samus could win, but it would be like the Iron Man versus Batman fake out where giant laser hits, but Batman just comes out of his armor, and Tony's like, oh shit, maybe it could be something like that, where Zero Suit Samus realizes, oh no, he's still in his armor.
Dude, like,
can we have, like, when the fight ends, can we have, like in that scenario, the kill just be an assassination animation?
Oh yeah, that was the one thing I was really sad they didn't bring in Halo Infinite.
That's so satisfying.
They are. I love them.
Chief versus Samus sounds like it'll be a fun time, and one of probably the greatest ideas for a 3D fight.
Oh yeah, absolutely. Don't get me wrong, the DBX they did as well was still really good, and if they did want to go with sprite route, I'd be like, fair enough, you managed to do good last time.
His model in the DBX 3D he had was good.
Yeah, and do you know what? The other thing as well, much like Master Chief with Halo Infinite, Samus is also making a comeback thanks to Metroid Dread. I really feel that was really underrated. It didn't do well in the sales, which is unfortunate.
It's fantastic.
It's really good, and it brings back the classic Metroid that we've missed for so many years. It's like, people, if you do get the chance, if you have a Switch, play Metroid Dread. It's a really good game, and Samus deserves to have a comeback, just similar to Master Chief. And in a similar way, I feel like they might as well have.
Fett is going to have.
Yeah, so I feel like since they're both from Season 1, I know technically Season 2 as well, thanks to the remaster, but I feel like these two deserve another episode.
Yeah, I can agree with that.
The other episode, another character, which is big surprise, I'm going to give this one to your only mate, Arbiter, and me and mate have both agreed who we want to see fight.
Predator.
We would get a Microsoft versus Disney character.
Oh my god, nice. Oh my god, that is great.
Predator is owned by Disney, folks.
Wait, does that mean the Predator Queen could count as a Disney princess? Yes, the Predators have a queen.
Oh my god! I'm going to ask Gang to make that for me.
Mate, why do you want this episode?
Well, it's a thematic matchup about two honor-bound aliens and, the races that they come from. They've also got the whole invisibility thing, a plethora of weapons. And I just feel like there's a lot you could do with the episode.
Well, plus, I feel like it's a lot more closer than Prophet versus Predator.
Yeah.
Well, and I also just think it'd be cool to, because there's more than just one Predator, because don't they, die in almost every movie?
Oh, yeah, they do.
Yeah, so you could scale, all the Predators to each other, and you could scale Velvetamine to, other Arbiters and, Elites and stuff.
If they do go for Predator, though, they have to go with the iconic design of the original one, not just the weird one that wanted the kids autism. I shit you not, that was actually the plot of one of the films where a Predator wanted the kid's autism because it would make him smarter. Because that's how autism works, apparently.
But I really want a shot of they both go invisible and they're both trying to find each other, and you see Predator through his thermal vision, sussing out where Arbiter is, and we get a first person shot from Arbiter, and we see his motion tracker going off.
Oh yeah. Yeah, like there's just so many unlimited possibilities of like what you could do with, well, Arbiter versus Predator. But similar to Master Chief versus Samus, they all have unique weaponry that they could choose from. Now, sure, the thing that Arbiter is different from the Chief is that Arbiter favors certain weaponry.
Yeah, and he's gonna have the energy sword in that fight. Absolutely.
That has to be the last weapon he uses. Like the Predator has to use the blade. It has to
be Prophet's Bane.
It does, yeah. Like the Predator's going to use his wrist blades, and Arbiter has to use his sword.
I feel like the death would be a reference to the original Predator movie where a self-destruct activates and Arbiter has to get away.
Yeah.
Well, you know what? What if it's also like a reference to how Truth dies in Halo 3? Just Arbiter grabs Predator by the back of the neck, going, "Asshole, you must be silenced." Just like stabs him through the chest.
Yeah.
Yo, honestly though, this one could be fun though. I do think initially looking at it, Predator does have the better range weaponry and better tracking to counter Arbiter. But Arbiter is just way more experienced, has the tougher armor, and has the better melee.
Oh yeah, like Arbiter's armor is compared to the Master Chief's, which could survive re-atmospheric entry. So, and honestly, I know people say this could be one-sided, but honestly, Predators can hold their own pretty well against other species of aliens, including at one point Kryptonium, which is considered canon in the Predator universe.
Right, should we move on to other franchises?
Yeah, alright then. Let me get my notes. So, I'll only mention two, because I was going to do Disney, but there's so many characters that we get to do.
That's it.
We mentioned the Disney character already, technically.
Yeah, so...
There we go, that counts.
So, the other franchise, which might surprise a few people, is Pokemon in my case.
Oh, I already know what match I would want for that.
So, okay, here's the thing.
I feel like compared to a lot of these we're going to talk about, Pokemon has had quite a bit of representation.
Not as much as I honestly feel. Okay, so here's what they've gone for. They've had Ash's Pikachu, which, unless you want to go full out and say, oh, we've had the icon of all Pokemon. We've had the start of Pokemon's full evolution, Battle Royale, which is still a fantastic episode. Then
we had Red and his Charizard, then Mewtwo, Lucario, Machamp.
Yeah, so here's the thing.
That's 6.
Yeah, so we've had some good Pokemons, including mostly sticking to their most iconic ones. Like when you think of fighting types, you obviously think of Machamp.
Yeah. Also, just mostly Gen 1, apparently.
Yeah, but here's the thing as well.
It's the only Gen 4 Pokemon.
Yeah.
He's the only non-Gen 1 Pokemon.
Yeah, and
Bill, do you have a matchup in mind for this by chance? I do.
I have 3 interesting ones. And I say interesting because here's the thing about Pokemon battles. Pokemon's one of those franchises which I wouldn't always be against if we had a Battle Royale against a lot of their starters. Because, sure, there's always been a debate Bulbasaur, Charmander, or Squirtle, but not as many people debate the other ones, which is surprising because I feel like you could make some good debates.
You can totally do that with like Gens 2, 3, 4, and so on.
Yeah, I mean, if we're using the beginning from the Team 4-star run, everything's dead.
Yeah.
Mr. Steak!
Mr. Steak! The Pokemon they thought was going to be death fodder. Man, I love the Nuzlocke from Team 4-star. I'm never going to do a Nuzlocke because the last thing I want is to get attached to my Alakazam and then it dies.
I'm currently doing one and I just beat Giovanni.
Nice.
Isn't Gen 1 meant to be like the hardest to Nuzlocke from what I've heard?
Oh, really? So I'm going into like the hardest one and I picked the starter that would be the hardest difficulty. Basically.
Oh wait, no, it's Pokemon Platinum people say is the hardest to Nuzlocke.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, I'm doing Platinum. I'm heading towards Gym 6 and I still got my Torterra, so suck it.
Oh, Torterra is the best.
I still have my Charizard.
That was one of the matchups. I would love to see a Battle Royale between the Gen 4 stars, because for me, Pokemon Gen 4, or Pokemon Diamond, I should be more specific, was my first true Pokemon game. I mostly watched the anime, and honestly, I was interested in playing the games, but Emerald or the Gen 3 games never interested me. I definitely didn't want to go back and play the old Game Boy games. Even when I was a kid, I was like, this looks shit.
That'd be a hard one to determine a winner, because technically speaking, Torterra learns Earthquake when it evolves. That counters both Empoleon and Infernape. But
yeah, no, Torterra can F up both of them. But then again, so can Infernape, because counter the Steel type of Empoleon, and its Fire type attacks would hurt Torterra.
Yeah, because here's the thing is...
Pretty much rip Empoleon in this case.
Okay, yeah, no, Empoleon's dead.
Yeah, Empoleon...
I think we can agree there.
Which is kind of sad, because Torterra wasn't my first Pokemon, it was actually Empoleon, but I lost a lot of fights with Empoleon. Then when I did a replay with Torterra, I was like, man, Torterra's just a boss.
Oh, Torterra's great.
Yeah, it's a shame in the anime he'd never had a win.
I mean, Torterra was fun.
Also, Infernape is great.
Infernape is a good Pokemon, you know.
Especially Ashes. Oh, damn.
Oh, yeah.
Well, Infernape definitely would have the speed out of all of them, but Torterra just has the defenses.
And just the raw power. He could cause earthquakes, man. Like, Jesus. I mean, I know a lot of Pokemon can cause earthquakes, but this is a literal turtle that can just be like...
Not to mention, he gets Leech Seed, which can give him health.
Yeah, I feel like, unlike Venusaur in the Battle Royale, I feel like Torterra might just be the ground type to prove to everyone that grass type Pokemon are as good as fire and water.
Yeah, I would say Torterra would more than likely win, but I would not be surprised if Infernape won.
Yeah.
Yeah, I can see it just being between Infernape and Torterra.
Yeah. I even had an idea of how Torterra could win against Infernape. Like, I had this idea, Infernape is like crawling on the floor because it's badly injured. Torterra just stands on its head with one foot, causes an earthquake, and all you see is like the ragdoll body of Infernape, but you see the earth like crack around it. And Torterra just steps off and just roars in the air. So, pretty much earthquakes on this one spot just to crush Infernape's head.
Yikes.
That is brutal.
Oh, and I was also going to bring up, like, kind of missed opportunity not to do that fight because we had the Gen 4 remakes and Legends Arceus.
Yeah.
Also, I think to be fair to like the research team, like I don't know how much time it took for them to do the first starter battle royale.
I know, and that's the other thing I'm kind of more forgiving on because Pokemon is not easy to research because there's a lot of maths involved. You got to, and similar to when it comes to RPG characters, you've really got to choose which moveset do you give this character. Because I always say when it comes to wild Pokemon, just stick to what they get when they level up from when you start them.
Yeah, no, that's what they did with the Battle Royale. They have a system.
Yeah.
Dude, like, was there any other Pokemon matchups that you had in mind, Bill? I think the biggest one, or the biggest Pokemon match I can think of, honestly, I know it might sound crazy at first, but I really just want to see Ash versus Yugi.
I mean, they've talked about that on Cast.
And plus, Brandon did a commission track on it, and it sounds really good.
Yeah, I'm honestly a little iffy on that because it just depends on, like, how you take certain things.
Well, like, the cool thing as well is that Dark Magician could theoretically keep up with Pikachu, because in one episode, I believe it was against a guy named Lecter, the Blue Ice White Dragon flew all the way to space to destroy a satellite, and that took like under 10 seconds.
Yeah, I'm also just thinking because like Yugi has like a couple like instant win cons.
Well,
like, if we give him absolutely everything, Exodia.
Logically speaking, they wouldn't give him Exodia because
he still has one in that case then. That being, once he gets all three of the Egyptian gods out, which he has done multiple times with ease, in the same turn, honestly, damn.
It also depends on like how they want to handle Yugi and Atem.
I wasn't done there.
Oh, go ahead. My bad.
Yeah. So, okay, this is an actual card that exists in the game, but it was only released in Japan, not overseas. And Yugi uses it in the anime to defeat Zork, the creator of light. Where, to summon it, you have to sacrifice all three of the Egyptian gods. Once you summon it, you win. Like it's an instant win move.
Yeah, that would be hard to counter.
And I can say it's more powerful than Exodia because Exodia fought Zork and lost. This thing came out one shot.
Yeah. I mean, also it would be like a whole big thing on. You also gotta consider what they would get Ash and like how many times, like different combinations this can go into. This would be a very math-heavy kind of episode.
Well, if you just give them the Pokemon box like they have in the game, where trainers have access to like all their Pokemon in the PC at all times, then he should have access to like any Pokemon he has at Oaks.
Yeah, and then of course you gotta figure out what kind of deck Yugi would run at the time, and like what monsters you give him.
But I say just he would have like all the cards he's used.
Like for example, like Buster Blader's effect is he gets attack points equal to Dragon-type monsters, so I could see that actually working against some of Ash's Pokemon.
Oh yeah,
and
no, absolutely.
Dragonite now, yeah. And like of course, these two are really good at strategy.
I should also mention Buster Blader's effect also applies to, I believe it's Dragons in the Graveyard.
I think so.
Yeah, so if he's already taken out a bunch of, like, let's say Dragonite, Noivern, then it will already have a boost.
Well, technically, there's nothing close to a graveyard in the Pokemon series, but...
Well, once they've fainted or died, I guess. Which, that's another reason I'm a little iffy, because, like, man, this fight would be super depressing seeing, like, so many of Ash's Pokemon get murdered.
Yeah, like, a big thing going for Ash is, like, he's a good strategist. I definitely think he could outsmart regular Yugi. Well, here's the thing. Ash can outsmart regular Yugi, but not Yama Yugi.
I'm here, by the way.
Welcome back, Bill.
And yeah,
we're talking about Yugi versus Ash.
A matchup I'm not too invested in, but I can understand it eventually being an episode.
I feel like that's gonna happen one day, assuming they don't put Ash up against Lucy from Fairy Tail.
I don't like that matchup. That matchup's so boring.
Here's the thing. I never understood that one, actually.
Because they can summon... it's because Lucy can summon these elemental warriors, but...
Also...
that's such a lame fight for Ash.
Ash also has access to things like Mega Evolution and the Z moves.
Yeah, Ash is not a pushover these days. I mean, unless you count the black and white anime, which really did him dirty.
So, yeah, nowadays, Ash versus Yugi is a lot more closer because Ash does have a lot more in his arsenal.
Yeah. I will say, though, there are a couple cards, depending on how you interpret them, they could just be instant wins for Yugi.
Well, they would most likely consider the anime versions of cards, which are different than in-game.
Oh, then they're broken as fuck.
Yeah, the anime ones are pretty destructive.
Yeah, like, he had brain control, so he could just take control of any of Ash's Pokemon, like, and set them on him. There's Magic Cylinder, so if, let's say, Ash's Lucario Mega Evolves and does that, like, Spirit Bomb Aura Sphere thing, Magic Cylinder sends it right back. And it hits Ash, not the Pokemon.
Also, Ash can probably avoid attacks too, so...
Or the big one, Mirror Force.
Yeah, I'm pretty confident in Yugi destroying Ash. It's pretty obvious. I'll be honest though, one matchup I remember seeing Yang the Insane come up with was Ash versus Red, which, surprisingly, I actually feel like Ash would win that. If it was specifically... well, if it was like their best teams, which if you look at Red's official team in... what was it? Gold and Silver. Yeah, honestly, Ash's best Pokemon could absolutely annihilate them.
That would be so cool, though. Like, it'd be a same series matchup, too.
Yeah, right.
Like, you could theoretically bring back... I think it was Nate Wants to Battle that voiced Red, right?
Yeah.
Could bring him back to voice Red.
Whoever dies, just don't have that death be overly depressing.
Yeah. Do you know what? I always kind of looked at that. Thanks to Pokemon Legends Arceus, I actually feel like Origins Red was the one they used because Red and Origins Red are two different characters. Because one of them, Origins Red, actually has a character. Whereas the Red in the games just doesn't say anything, like, ever. Even as an adult.
It honestly would be a really cool fight to see, like a same series thing, and like the different like styles of them fighting would go at it.
Yeah, and you know what? To end off my Pokemon Most Wanted, it was a same series fight, but not between trainers. It was between Pokemon.
Curious.
Yeah, so you know how people have constantly had debates over starter type Pokemon, like, oh, who would win between Charizard and Tysplosion, or Tysplosion versus Inferno, etc., etc. Yeah. There's actually one debate I've always been interested in with my friends, and that is between the probably the most popular Dragon type Pokemon, Dragonite and Garchomp.
Ooh.
Now, Dragonite was considered to be the most overpowered dragon in Red and Blue. And in a similar case, in Diamond and Pearl, Garchomp was always the must-have for your team because it's so overpowered. It could destroy most of the legendaries in Pokemon.
I mean, if you're looking at the typing stuff, though, Dragonite does have flying, and in-game mechanics would say that any of Garchomp's ground moves would not affect Dragonite.
Yeah, but here's the thing as well. I think Garchomp has the better, like, physical attacks than Dragonite. And I've always been interested in that aspect, because obviously Dragonite has the flight advantage, whereas Garchomp doesn't. But of course, I feel like it will mainly come down to, you know, Dragon versus Dragon, like their Dragon typing. However, I feel like, I've always said this, I feel like Dragonite should win because it can learn Ice-type moves.
Yeah, but then if we're talking, like, just ones they can know naturally...
Wait, can't Dragonite learn Ice Beam naturally?
I will double check this.
I don't think it can. I'm going to look that up.
I gotcha.
Okay, but yeah, Garchomp and Dragonite have always been my favourite dragons of their generations. I will admit, Gen 2 and 3 didn't really have any interest in Dragon type for me.
Really?
Yeah,
I like Salamence from Gen 3.
Actually, no, what was generation was it that flying type that looks like a bird but then eventually becomes a dragon typing as well?
Altaria?
Yeah, do you know, I will say
that's
also a pretty decent Pokemon. Not my favourite, like, comparing to Garchomp, it's like, nah, Garchomp's better, but if I had to choose from Gen 3, no, that's a pretty decent Pokemon. I think I remember, wasn't that the Pokemon that was considered the mill tank of Gen 3 just because there was a gym leader that would just absolutely destroy your team with it?
I wouldn't be surprised if that was the case.
Because it can learn Earthquake, which is pretty crazy, like, for a bird to... Imagine that, like, oh, look, it's pecking that food. Accidental Earthquake. I don't know, that's always made me laugh. And
also, I looked through all 8 gens. He does not learn Ice Beam naturally.
Oh, so no Ice-type moves at all. Okay, so I guess it would be a bit more even then. It will really depend on their Dragon-type moves. And I would say they would have to use their current move sets, like what they're learning, like...
According to Gen 8, Dragonite can get Dragon Dance.
Oh, okay.
Which can increase its power and speed. It also can get stuff like Safeguard, which prevents critical hits, Hyper Beam, Agility, Dragon Tail.
Okay, yeah, so I've always been interested in, like, I feel like Pokemon has more potential to have, like, same universe fights. So I'd say maybe go for the more iconic debates, like all the fire type starters going up against each other. Maybe not every single one though, because I feel like that could be a long episode, but you know, maybe up to like Gen 5 of, like, you know, the sprite versions.
Okay.
You know, before it jumped to 3D. And in a similar case, why not the best dragon types of the...
I mean, if we're talking jump to 3D, technically Gen 1 went 3D first. Pokemon Stadium on the N64.
I mean, like, in terms of, like, their main games, like, you know, from Red, like, you know, Pokemon Red and Blue was considered the first of the Pokemon games, and then the final of the, you know, 2D games was Black and White too.
Yeah, I get what you mean.
Yeah, so...
Yeah, that'd be cool to see.
But that's all I had to say for Pokemon. Was there another Pokemon type matchup you guys were interested in?
I have none.
Alright, what next?
So the final franchise that I've been wanting to see more of...
We're only doing 3?
This is from Bill's list.
Yeah.
Oh boy.
So Transformers.
I think we all know what the big one is.
Of course, I don't think that's worth.
I can think of.
I don't think that one's actually worth knowing because we know that's inevitably going to come.
Yeah. So let's talk about the other one then.
So okay, so Transformers and Death Battle been around for a long time, each in their own way. So let's look at Death Battle's list. We've had Starscream and Optimus Prime. But surprisingly, not many more iconic characters, not even in DBX. It's like, you are
Optimus Prime was also... I was going to say, wasn't Optimus Prime also the first character to be animated in like the Unreal Engine style against the Gundam?
Yeah.
Yeah.
But the thing that surprised me is that Transformers has a lot... Like, Starscream vs. Rainbow Dash was just a joke at first. But it's like, you are aware that Transformers has like hundreds of characters to go from. We obviously know one episode that's coming out. That's been confirmed for years. But
yeah,
why
Galactus vs. Unicorn.
Why not the most iconic villain in all of... You know, because here's the thing. Transformers has also had a big influence on like culture, with mostly toy culture. And yet every time Transformers makes a return, in no matter what form, whether it be a serious show or an anime or cartoon, why has Megatron, who's been with Transformers for a long time, not had his episode yet? One of the biggest villains in toys, cartoons, movies. Like, even when he dies, he somehow bullshits his way to coming back. So, give him an episode against Frieza, which is, you know, I'm not too fond of that, but I would be down for it.
I was going to say, if Megatron gets in, that's who he's fighting.
Yeah, I would be. I'm very curious how they would animate that. It would probably be really cool, but yeah, why not Megatron? He's such an iconic character. Bumblebee as well. Like, he was one of, like, next to Optimus Prime, he was like a big fan favorite from kids.
Yeah.
Like, what other villains? Soundwave. He's my personal favorite. Why hasn't Soundwave gotten an episode? Like, I'm not sure who Soundwave could fight. But
yeah, I don't know any matches for Soundwave.
Well, you gotta think of someone who's like... Honestly, compared to all the other Transformers, he is the most robotic of the characters, and he's just blindly loyal to Megatron. So I'm not sure, maybe if they could find another just blind... Maybe Zarbon. Zarbon versus Soundwave, how about that?
Fucking Zarbon.
Mm.
I thought you were gonna go the double Artemis route with that one.
No, I was going the
Blue Magoo.
Yeah, well, I mean, yeah, but obviously Dragon Ball Abridged Kai was at it, where all he kept mostly doing was going like, or one point where he went pussy.
So I could definitely see Megatron versus Frieza happening though. It's
with how requested it is, abso-freaking-lutely.
Oh, the Dinobots as well. I've actually thought about a battle royale between all of them. Like, they're pretty powerful Autobots as well, so... Yeah, which one is the most... I know they say, what's the T-Rex one called again? Grimlock, wasn't it? Yeah, that's it, Grimlock. Yeah, like, he's considered the most powerful yet. And in what way? We've never seen why he's the most powerful, aside the fact he's just a T-Rex transform, but... A lot of times, I see him getting his ass handed, and then usually it's his friends that come in to save the day. So why not actually solve the debate? Which one of the Dinobots is truly the superior one? And so yeah, not much to say about the Transformers one. So I am aware that, you know, it's hard to come up with like more Transformers fights, but I'd still be down for seeing like Transformers get more episodes. They definitely deserve to have more fights, given you know, the influence they've also had on nerd culture. Those are all the franchises I'd mainly want. Pokemon, Halo, and Transformers.
Yeah. Those are all really good picks, and I could definitely see, like, maybe one day a good amount of those will get back in.
Agreed. Do you guys have any franchises that you feel like need to deserve more episodes that they haven't gotten?
I have a few I can speed through.
Sure.
Because we've been going for quite some time.
We have, actually, yeah. Plus, I have burgers on the way.
So, mate, do you want to start, and then I'll go?
Okay. First one I'm going to talk about is Akame ga Kill. because like we've only had one character from that series, and that was Esdeath. And I know there's a bunch of other characters that we could use. Like the two most prominent I'm thinking about are Akame herself and Leone.
Wait, okay, so I know Leone is requested against Yang a lot. Is Akame the one that people want to see fight Killua?
Yeah. She's the one that has that sword where basically if like that cuts you, it's like Kenshiro, you're already dead.
That was actually another matchup I remember seeing. I would actually be down for seeing that. Maybe not for but at the same time, I know Kenshiro kind of had a really fitting episode, and I feel like giving up a franchise a try.
Dude, what would win? A person to touch the sword or a sword that can kill you? The answer? Yes.
Also, if we're talking just who would win, Kenshiro.
Yeah, I can imagine if that fight did happen, how they should end it is like they both strike each other, typical anime, and they both cross the other. So you're just there wondering like who delivered the killing blow, and then either show Kenshiro gets sliced.
You're already.
Oh, sorry.
They both would say. I was gonna say they would both say "Umae wa Mushinderu," and then one of them explodes.
Oh yeah, maybe like they both say that, and then you wait a few seconds, and then the person who's about to die go Nani. Like Kenshiro looks surprised and he gets sliced in half, or Akame just explodes on the screen.
Yeah. But I also see her requested for Killua from Hunter x Hunter, and that's another new franchise that would get to come in.
That one would be cool to see.
I was never a big fan of Hunter x Hunter, but I definitely liked a lot of the fights from it.
I will say, Hisoka is the most disturbing villain from that series.
Is that the one that they say Cell looks similar to? Or am I thinking of
that guy.
Or am I thinking of another character?
I'll show a GIF while Mate goes on.
Alright, so I'm gonna speed through a few other franchises because the ones that I would at least like to see, they have opponents that are from franchises I would like to see.
Okay, that's not the character I was thinking of, okay.
Okay, so this isn't on my list, but I thought about it immediately after I typed it. Kill the Kill. We had Ryuko, let's bring in Marco.
Yeah,
and her most popular request is Chie from Persona. That would be fun.
I can see that being a fun episode.
Funny one.
Yeah. Also, if anything, because Chie has this ultimate move where she kicks something into space. So let's have Wiz and Boomstick take that literally and calculate it. That could just be fun.
Do you know what? With Mako, if you haven't seen the anime but you've just seen the clips, she's like a toon character in an edgy anime. She somehow belongs yet doesn't belong at the same time in this universe. But that's what makes her one of the best characters in the anime.
Oh, absolutely.
Have you guys listened to her English dub? It is fantastic.
Yes.
As much as I always say, Japanese dub is usually the best way to watch a lot of animes. No, I will definitely say, for Kill la Kill, yeah, definitely watch the English as well, because it's equally as great.
Right. And speaking of Persona, that's another series that I kind of want to see more fights with, because, okay, Persona 4 made a super splash, and then they built on that with Persona 5, and oh my god, I saw that everywhere when it was coming out.
Yeah. And from what
I've
seen,
how popular a series it is, the first rep is Mitsuru. And admittedly, I do have a bit of a resentment for that episode for a personal reason. It's not the one you're thinking of. But I just feel like there's more to do with the Persona series. Bring in a Persona 4 character or a Persona 5 character. Let's have Joker versus what's his name from JoJo? Giorno, that's it.
Whenever I do think about Persona characters, usually Persona 4 is always the recommended go-to when it comes to franchises. People say,
and there's
people say play 5 if you're just interested, but it's not one of the best apparently.
Yeah. Oh, by the way, another 5 matchup I've heard is Mikoto versus Tifa.
That could also be fun. I think wasn't there a battle mode on that?
Yes.
I vaguely remember it.
And as for Persona 4, there's Yuno Okami versus Josuke from JoJo.
Nosuke.
Oh, Josuke, sorry.
How does it feel
And
not
there's
being able to pronounce Japanese names, huh? How does it feel?
Shut up.
Never! Feel my pain.
Go on.
Let's see. Another versus JoJo matchup is Adachi versus Akira.
Ooh. That'd be a cold-hearted villain fight.
Spoiler, but then again, how long has the game been out? You
A
either
long
know it or
time.
you don't.
I was referring more so to Part 4, JoJo.
Well, that too. But also, other matchups that I would love to see, Kanji versus Beowulf from Skullgirls. And, you know what, bring Skullgirls in, make ZDogg happy. And they could just be like a fight all about like testosterone and like what it is to be a real man. Plus, they'd just be smacking each other with folding chairs the whole time.
That'd be great.
Yeah.
You can even put in a wrestling ring and have like commentators. Let's see what else. Also, if we want to talk about like really weird, Teddy versus Monokuma from Danganronpa.
Poor Monokuma.
Oh my god, that fight would be balls to the wall bonkers. Like, it'd be nuts. Although, going back to Persona 3, another one I'd really like to see is Igus versus Noelle from Blaze Blue.
Yeah, that one I've seen get more traction as of late.
Yeah, there was even a DBX of it, and it was awesome. Although I should say with Igus, actually, you know what? I'm gonna save that for another time. But I'll just say, like, for the Persona Pro tags, man, watching Wisdom Boomstick delve into like the wild card and what that lets them do. Oh boy.
Alright, since we have been going on for 2 hours now, oof.
Okay, so, oh yeah, like Blaze Blue I've kind of already covered. Like that could use more, but like. Another one that's only had like one fight is TF2. With how wacky their cast is, like, let's bring more in. And like the big one I want to see is a Soldier versus Sarge.
You know what, as well, unfortunately, they won't be able to with Soldier, but a lot of the actors for Team Fortress 2 are always down to voice act for like fan projects. Some of the actors even did some dubs for some official comics of Team Fortress 2.
By the way, what?
So they
That
could
is
even
really cool.
So they could even, and they're not binded to the characters by a contract, so Deathnote could literally reach out and be like, hey, do you want to legally voice act? Sure, wait, what do you mean legally? Shh, no one must know.
Yeah, but Bill, you're saying that...
Dude, I would love to see Demo Man versus Junkrat just because of the accents they both have.
Yes.
No, that would also be fun. And you know what? That's another Overwatch matchup.
And you know, I think speaking of that, Sean, wasn't one of the major franchises you wanted to see get more episodes as Overwatch?
Yes, because for people who don't know, my new most wanted is involving an Overwatch character, Genji versus Zero, because cybernetic ninjas.
And then that would also bring in Borderlands.
Exactly, because Borderlands deserves an episode at this point.
Isn't Zero
least I think it
the
does.
samurai that uses emotes to, or like
He's
emoji?
the one that speaks in haikus
Yeah.
and does the emojis on his visor. Yeah, that's the one.
Ah, okay. He's a cute character, a deadly character, but a cute one.
He's the cute, deadly type, essentially.
Yeah,
And also
Borderlands
another big
does.
Overwatch.
Borderlands
Yeah,
does get so crazy with like the character's powers and the destructive capabilities, and these are just mercenaries, aren't they?
Oh, the Vault Hunters are. I've seen other Borderlands fights, but I'll get into that when we talk about Borderlands at some point.
Yeah.
Another big Overwatch matchup that I would like to see, because I've seen other people want this, Cole Cassidy versus Aaron Black. That could be a cool gunfight.
Oh yeah, we never had like a Western fight.
Exactly.
Yeah, I think another request for him was John Marston, which
Yeah, John Marston would be fun too, because fun fact, that's where the name Deadeye Ultimate came from, was John Marston.
no, Deadeye's always been a thing before Red Dead. Like that was the term.
Marston
That was the term cowboys used when you were just so good of a shot.
Yeah, Marston's ability Deadeye is a lot better than Cassidy's, though. It's like Marston can target specific points on your body.
Do you know what? Though? If they do Aaron Black, I really hope he recreates one of his X-ray moves where he fires a bullet at you that has your name on it.
Oh, that would be cool. He is a bounty hunter.
But I think there was even one point if you used that X-ray move on the Predator, Aaron Black doesn't know the name of it, so he just calls it ugly motherfucker, but he censors the fuck.
Dude, like, here's why I also want Overwatch. Overwatch 2 is literally right around the corner. There has been gameplay of Overwatch 2 on the pro scene.
Yeah, so I wouldn't be surprised if maybe we are getting another Overwatch character, because the team has expressed interest in bringing another Overwatch character in.
Yeah, and I know another popular matchup is Diva versus Trombone from the Mega Man Legends.
Here's what's also kind of cool, Bill. They could potentially get Matt Mercer as Cole because he does voice characters in Vox Machina, which is an Amazon show.
That is true, yeah.
Yeah, Diva versus Trombone would also be fun. The DBX was fantastic.
I've got a friend who's like super into Diva, so I feel like that episode would be fun for him, unless Diva dies.
Yeah. Diva,
which, from what I've heard, she does.
That's the gamer with the mech, isn't it?
Yeah.
Thought so.
Well, to be fair, we don't know what Overwatch 2 is going to give Diva yet, so...
Oh, yeah, true.
Yeah. I will say, her DBX was entertaining.
Yeah, that's why I think, like, if Overwatch 2 comes out and then a death battle happens, some of the Overwatch fights are going to be closer.
Yeah, I'm really interested in how the campaign's going to work in Overwatch 2. Is that the only franchise you feel like deserves more episodes that has already been in Death Battle, or is there one more you want to add in before we wrap up?
Oh, there is definitely one more for me.
Oh, yeah?
I think it's obvious what it is, isn't it?
3, 2, 1.
Be Bleach, goddammit!
Okay, yeah, Bleach is definitely a franchise. Like Naruto's had like quite a few episodes, yet not its rival, not as much. Which
there's like
well, I mean, Naruto had a lot of rivals.
Yeah, there's definitely characters that you can argue can come into Bleach, like Kenpachi, Grimdown, Yoruichi, but the big one is Byakuya. And heck, even one of the animators of Death Battle, Origin, has said that he likes Darth Maul versus Byakuya. And I've also seen people suggest Mace Windu against Byakuya.
I have to admit, when you're talking about these characters, it's like you're talking another language.
What, the Bleach characters or Star Wars characters?
Bleach.
Well, I mean, when you think about it, yeah, a lot of these are Japanese names.
There are so many names I know.
In layman's terms for you, mate, Byakuya is Rukia's brother.
Okay.
And here's what's weird. Oddly enough, I do think Byakuya does beat Mace Windu. He probably doesn't beat Darth Maul.
Darth Maul is not as powerful as many people say. I feel like his power is exaggerated.
The thing with Darth Maul, he has more material than Mace Windu. And also, Byakuya, like, his Bankai is kind of absurd. Like, his normal Zanpakuto, Zenmon Zakura, disperses into, like, cherry blossom leaves that are actually tiny, like, sharp swords. His Bankai can create legitimately 1 million of them. And technically, Ichigo has survived that. I think Darth Maul, with his dual lightsaber, can deflect it a lot easier than Mace could. Yeah, Byakuya definitely, I feel like, is the Bleach character if they want to go the Bleach route. You can make arguments for like Kenpachi, especially with the new analysis. Even Robuscus has even said, quote, as long as Kenpachi doesn't go against Azrael, Kenpachi wins.
Yeah, I think when it comes to all the anime franchises we've had in Death Battle, Dragon Ball, Naruto, even One Piece, Bleach is definitely one that's been handed the shortest. I think even My Hero Academia's had more episodes.
My Hero has had 2.
Okay, so same amount.
DBXs than Bleach too. I think. Bakugo was in the DBX, but I think the only Bleach character to get into the DBX was Ichigo.
Yes, against who did he fight?
Ichigo fought Sasuke.
Oh, that was another requested Sasuke match. I never liked that.
I never understood that one.
It's because pretty much they're edgy swordsmen, but it's like I don't think Ichigo is edgy.
Plus, let's be honest, what we got with Ichigo versus Naruto was amazing anyway.
Yeah, plus it makes more sense for the main characters of their franchises dueling rather than the main character and the side character. Don't saying that though, Ken versus Terry was a really good episode.
Yeah. But like, I think Bleach could get into. I would hope Bleach gets into Death Battle again at some point, because like, there's so many cool characters you can make a Death Battle for. But if they were to pick one, it's definitely looking like Byakuya.
Yeah, I'll be down for learning more about Bleach characters.
And like, if it is like one of those Star Wars characters, that'd be a cool concept, because technically Spirit Reapers are spiritual beings. I don't know how the Force would work against them.
No, the Force can actually see spiritual beings as well.
Yeah, plus in Force Awakens, Starkiller kills Ghost Obi-Wan.
Yep, that was a legit fight. And it turns out Ghost can be killed by jet engines. Who knew?
I mean, no, it's not the jet engine that kills him, it's the Force Lightning.
I mean, fair, but it does look like he just gets killed by the Millennium Falcon's engine, which I always thought was quite funny.
Like, it could be a really cool thing to see as well, because like, I've said that Bleach get into Death Battle, but also I think the Death Battle team has handled Bleach very well in like their animations and everything.
Oh yeah. Despite what naysayers may say.
Yeah, I'm a Bleach fan, okay?
Yeah, but who listens to them?
Yeah.
Not me.
Yeah. Also, I feel like I should address probably like the two like ones that you would expect me to say.
Do we have time? Because
I'll blaze through them quick. Like, okay, Attack on Titan. There's only like two other characters I see getting into Death Battle. Those being Eren and Levi.
Okay.
Aside from Mikasa. And as for why I didn't say Ruby, because well, they've had like 3 fights, and the other ones I've listed had like 2 or 1. So for I give them a bit more love. Plus, like the Ruby cast have like some locked in fights anyway.
Plus, when you even add in the Ruby DBXs, they've definitely had more fights on the channel. Like, compared to the ones you bought.
Varying in quality.
I don't know, I've enjoyed all the Ruby DBXs, as well as their Death Battles. Obviously, why it's not being my favourite, it's still a fun episode.
Yeah. That's all I'm going to say, since we are on a bit of a time constraint today.
Yeah, I mean, even though we started earlier, we still went on for a bit too long. I blame me talking about Akira the most.
I wasn't going to say it, but
to be fair, the comment section of our live chats and down below could probably come up with ones we haven't talked about yet.
True.
Oh yeah, true.
Also, May, at least I actually contributed to the Tetsuo discussion.
Hey.
Hey, come on! I rarely ever get a good roast in these episodes. Let me have this one.
Hey, I contributed in Magneto, and that was part of it. Bitch!
Don't steal my win.
Hey, we've roasted enough people today. Okay, let's not roast each other.
Yeah, I feel like this discussion we've mostly just been roasting characters and as well as each other.
Yeah, so I think overall those are going to be fun franchises, and I hope people in the comments section leave some interesting ones too that maybe we can address on next discussion or reply in the comments below.
Yeah. So yeah, I guess we'll wrap up this long discussion. John, good luck.
Oh, don't worry. I've handled worse from the original lads.
That is true.
Oh, don't remind me.
Oh goodness.
I was talking about like early lads too, mate. Trust me, those guys went on for hours.
Oh yeah, well, I'm glad we try and keep them as short as we can. But right, so to wrap up, thank you all so much for watching Let's Discuss Death Battle. What did you think of Homelander versus Omni-Man? What do you think about the next time? Who are you going for next time? And what do you think about this third topic about, which series in Death Battle you feel like don't get enough episodes? Let us know in the comments below or in the community tab that we have up when these episodes go up, and yeah, we might talk about them next episode and see which ones we would like to see more of. So, mate, do you want to do your outro?
Thank you for watching. If you enjoyed, be sure to like and subscribe. If you did not enjoy, be sure to like and subscribe. Click the links to go to mine or Sean's channels, check out what we do, and keep supporting Bill. See you next time. Bye.
And Sean.
Thank you folks for watching. I hope you enjoyed this discussion we had today. Let us know your thoughts on Omni-Man versus Homelander, your thoughts on Magneto versus Tetsuo, and of course, what franchises do you think should get more love in Death Battle? Because I love reading your comments. Thank you folks so much for watching, and I will see you all later.
Thank you all so much for watching, and if you enjoyed what you saw here, be sure to stay around. We'll have more content like this in the future. Farewell, everybody.
I just realized I went the whole podcast without doing this. What was that button again? Oh yeah, this one. Much better. Good night, everybody.